Good morning and welcome to the inauguration of St. Louis University's 34th president, Dr. Edward Feser. At this time, we ask that you please turn off all electronic devices. Please rise for the posting of colors by the Department of Public Safety. You may be seated.
To begin our procession today, the University Mace is carried by Mr. Eric Engler, Chairman of the St. Louis University Board of Trustees. The Mace is followed by the chain of office, carried today by the university's 33rd president, Dr. Fred Pusello.
Following them, we welcome those who will deliver greetings at today's ceremony, as well as representatives of colleges and universities from far and wide who are here with us to celebrate this momentous occasion.
And finally, we present the St. Louis University Board of Trustees, members of the University Leadership Council, honored guests, and the president of St. Louis University. You may be seated.
My name is Richa Kulkarni, and I'm a senior majoring in health sciences with minors in biology and psychology on the pre-med track. On campus, I'm involved with housing and residence life as an RA and Student Government Association as the Vice President of Finance. I'm pleased to be one of the students guiding you all through this day.
And my name is Nathan Sewell, and I'm a senior studying neuroscience with a minor in Chinese. As for things I am involved in here on campus, I'm a part of SLU 101 and Oriflamme Summer and Fall Orientation, a member of the Student Government Association as the Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and most importantly, the President of the Pickleball Club. Together, we're your MCs for today's ceremony, and we promise, I mean it, we promise, to keep this celebration going.
So let's get started. It is our pleasure to welcome you to St. Louis University for the inauguration of our 34th president, Dr. Edward Feser.
We have many faculty, staff, and students with us for this historic event, but also guests from around the country, and we thank you all for joining us this morning.
As we begin our program, we ask that you please stand for the national anthem sung by our fellow students, the Bare Naked Statues, who I promise are clothed today. Please remain standing after the anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Bare Naked Statues. Although there is a different name in your program, we are now pleased to introduce Father Timothy Lannon of the Society of Jesus to offer the invocation. Father Lannon is a SLU trustee and superior of the Omaha Jesuit community. Father Lannon.
Thank you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Gracious and ever-faithful God, we gather today as a community of learners, healers, and believers to mark a moment of joyful transition and an exciting beginning at St. Louis University. We are grateful for and proud of our legacy, including a Nobel Prize winner, the first Department of Geophysics in the Western Hemisphere, and today, a Research One university. And we thank you for the leadership of Dr. Fred Pistello and Father Lawrence Biondi of the Society of Jesus. Today, though, we lift in prayer Dr. Edward J. Feser as he assumes the mantle of leadership as the 34th president of St. Louis University. Bless him with wisdom rooted in discernment, and with humility to listen deeply, and with vision to lead with distinction. Bless his family, his wife Kathy, and children Jack and Mary. May President Feser be an outstanding steward of our nation's values and Catholic identity, a president who fosters dialogue, discovery, and reconciliation, who nurtures the flourishing of students, faculty, staff, alums, and neighbors. And may your Spirit, O God, who has guided this university since 1818, continue to inspire us all to seek what is true, to do what is just, and to love as you have loved us. And we ask this in your holy name, amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Father Lannon. To formally welcome everyone today is Dr. Mike Lewis, the Provost of St. Louis University. So you may be thinking, what is a provost? Which is the same question I had when I first met him. The provost is our chief academic officer, and so Dr. Lewis oversees not only our educational enterprise, but also numerous areas that support students outside of the classroom. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lewis.
Thank you, Risha. And that is the generous definition of provost. You can find less generous definitions online. Today, St. Louis University comes together in community to celebrate the inauguration of our 34th president. We are delighted that you have joined us on this exciting occasion. On stage, we are pleased to welcome honored dignitaries, the current and emeriti members of St. Louis University's Board of Trustees, members of the University Leadership Council, and our deans. In addition, we are grateful to have with us more than 35 distinguished delegates from colleges and universities across the country. Thank you, delegates, for sharing in this special day with us. Will you please stand and be recognized? On behalf of the entire St. Louis University community, I would like to offer a special welcome to Dr. Feser's spouse, Kathy, and their children, Jack and Mary, and to all the Feser family and friends who are here today. With this ceremony, you are now officially members of the St. Louis University family. Of course, absolutely. Of course, it is also a pleasure to see so many of our campus family here as well. Thank you to our students, our faculty and staff, including those from our campus in Madrid, for coming together for this celebration. You join our alumni, neighbors, and local civic leaders in making this a true community event. We are so pleased that all of you have joined us today as we celebrate Dr. Feser and the new possibilities that lie ahead. Thank you.
I'm so happy I know what a provost is now. Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Now it is an honor to invite the Governor of Missouri, Mike Kehoe, to offer a gubernatorial welcome. And I'm aware gubernatorial is a very silly word, bear with me. Governor Kehoe was last elected in November and had his own inauguration in January. He is a St. Louis native and built a career in auto dealer ownership before entering politics in 2005. Prior to becoming governor, he was Missouri's lieutenant governor for nearly 7 years. He knows well what it means to be a Billiken because his wife, Missouri's First Lady, Claudia Kehoe, is a SLU alum. Please join me in welcoming Governor Mike Kehoe.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here this morning, and what a special occasion and celebration that you're having here, and we are proud to be a small part of it. It's a true honor to be here, Dr. Feser. As we met earlier, we're excited to have you in Missouri, and specifically excited to have you here in St. Louis. We'd like to thank and recognize university faculty, staff, the students, the alumnus, as was mentioned, including my wife, Claudia. This has always been something, this university has always been something that's special to this community because faith is a very important part of our family's life. As you may know, I grew up the youngest of 6 kids right here in the city of St. Louis, raised by a mother who taught that faith and hard work could overcome just about anything. We didn't have much, but we had each other, our parish, and a deep belief that God had a plan for each of us. My mother taught us that God walks beside us, especially when times are hard, and that our purpose in life is to serve others, not ourselves. That foundation of faith, family, and community shaped the person I am today. It's the same foundation that has guided my service from running a small business to serving in public office. And it's the same foundation that defines St. Louis University. St. Louis University has always been more than a place of higher learning. It's a place where intellect and faith meet, where knowledge serves community, and where students are taught not only how to make a living, but how to make a difference. My wife, Claudia, earned her master's here, so I know firsthand the impeccable quality of an individual that graduates from this university, and I'm not just saying that because she's sitting in front of me. Matter of fact, as was pointed out, I saw Father Biondi walk by. I want to remind him now subtly that in 2005, as I was a Missouri Highway Commissioner, he asked me if I can paint the beams under Highway 40 blue, I will give you an honorary degree, Kehoe. Father, I don't know what happened to that, but we're grateful. My sister Kathy actually also went here and got a nursing degree with Bo Vatterott, who sits behind me. This university farms leaders, people of integrity, compassion, and conviction. And those are the values that make Missouri a better place to live and work. When I think about the city and St. Louis University, I think about the bold spirit that has defined this place from its earliest days, a spirit of courage, innovation, and faith. Nearly a century ago, that spirit was captured on one extraordinary flight when Charles Lindbergh took off from here in St. Louis to New York and crossed the Atlantic over to Paris. The spirit of St. Louis is still alive and well. We just crossed the 98th anniversary of that flight on May 21st. We will celebrate the 100th anniversary of May 21st in 27. And Eric Lindbergh, who has moved the Lindbergh Foundation here to St. Louis, just to celebrate what an incredible adventure that flight was. It should probably have never worked out, and did work out, and we're really proud of the history that that brings. And it was that act of daring innovation. Yes, it was daring innovation, but also one of quiet faith. He trusted that what he was doing mattered, not just for himself, but for what it represented, the power of human ingenuity, perseverance, and belief in something greater. That same spirit, the spirit of faith meeting innovation, has always lived here in St. Louis and lives here in St. Louis University today. Dr. Feser embodies that same courage and vision and brings to St. Louis University an impressive record of service and leadership. He has dedicated his career to advancing knowledge that serves humanity. That vision aligns perfectly with the mission of this institution. He understands that higher education must go beyond instruction and instead be paired with inspiration. Inspiration to think boldly, to serve generously, and to lead faithfully. Under Dr. Feser's leadership, I am confident this university will continue to be a light for this city and for our entire state. So on behalf of the people of Missouri, congratulations, President Feser. May your presidency be marked by wisdom, collaboration, and faith. May God bless you, may God bless this university, and may God bless this great state of Missouri. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Kehoe. As you have seen, the theme of today's inauguration is Igniting Hope, Growing in Community, which celebrates the light of hope that inspires us in this exciting moment and the new possibilities we can cultivate together in service to the greater good. I am now pleased to welcome 12 speakers from the St. Louis University campus, the St. Louis area, and beyond who will offer greetings of hope and community, telling us how they are ignited by the theme of today's ceremony. We'll begin with my fellow student, Meg Murphy.
Hello, my name is Meg Murphy, and I'm a senior studying public health here at SLU. It's an honor to welcome you, President Feser, to the SLU community. As a student, I've seen firsthand what makes this place so special, the people. I'm ignited by the people who define SLU, those who lead with compassion and a genuine desire to make a difference. Your kindness and dedication inspire me every day. SLU's future excites me because it will continue to be shaped by those very individuals, the ones who lift others up, challenge one another to grow, and live our Jesuit mission in deeply meaningful and human ways.
Hi, my name is Nicole, and I'm a student at St. Louis University. I'm majoring in communication. Welcome to SLU, President Feser. We are so grateful for your commitment to our community and your vision for the future. I'm ignited by how the Loyola spirit is truly alive at SLU. It's beautiful to see how faith and compassion guide everything here. It gives me hope that we'll keep growing together with kindness and purpose.
Hi, my name is Ness Sandoval, Professor of Sociology in the College of Arts and Science. I extend my warmest welcome to you, Dr. Feser, as you are installed as President of St. Louis University, and wish you great success on your pilgrimage at SLU. I am ignited by our university's enduring commitment to the common good, both within our academic community and throughout the greater St. Louis region. Though the future may unfold with uncertainty, our shared Jesuit values, grounded in the examen, will continue to guide our reflection, our service, and our scholarship along a purposeful and rewarding path as we journey together on our own pilgrimage here at SLU.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Eric Clark, and I am a proud alum and proud to represent Loyola Academy of St. Louis, a Catholic Jesuit Nativity Middle School. On behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, I warmly welcome President Feser as the new president of St. Louis University. We look forward to continuing working together to strengthen collaboration, promote inclusion, and build meaningful connections between Loyola Academy and the St. Louis University communities. Congratulations, President Feser, and welcome to the Jesuit family.
I'm Ann Tatamble from the College of Philosophy and Letters, and also an alumni. Standing here before all of you, I am ignited by fear, it's total fear. But I'm also ignited by what's possible when we say yes to SLU. Great things can happen. President Feser, thank you for saying yes to SLU, and welcome to you and your family.
Buenos días. Soy Victoria Villarreal, vicerectora y directora financiera del campus de St. Louis University en Madrid y orgullosa exalumna de SLU. En nombre de nuestra comunidad, doy la más cálida bienvenida al Dr. Edward Feser en este día tan especial. Me inspira profundamente el compromiso de SLU por formar personas para los demás, guiadas por valores jesuitas, con propósito, liderazgo y vocación de servicio. Me siento profundamente ilusionada por el futuro de SLU. Me inspira su capacidad de transformar vidas y construir un mundo más justo.
Good morning. That was a hard act to follow. My name is Shawn Wade. I'm the immediate past president of the Gate District West Neighborhood Association. On behalf of the nearly 3,500 residents of the Gate District neighborhood, I want to extend a heartfelt welcome to President Feser. Our community sits within steps of SLU's campus and minutes from downtown. We encourage you to explore the city's favorites, including those within our neighborhood. Nestled in the heart of the country, St. Louis is a decent-sized city with a small-town feel. We are home of many talented individuals like Maya Angelou, John Goodman, Red Fox, Nikki Glazer, Cedric the Entertainer, and Jason Tatum. We're still dancing and singing to the hits of Chuck Berry, Nelly, and Tina Turner. Whether we are artists, ball players, entertainers, or presidents of colleges, or in my case, neighborhoods, St. Louis's legacy is strong and lives on. You've landed in the right place to become a star, and we look forward to the legacy you will bring to St. Louis University. Welcome to St. Louis, and I look forward to our continued partnership beyond the gates.
Good morning. I'm Marie-Hélène Bernard, President and CEO of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, located just down the street in Grand Center at Powell Hall in the newly created Jack C. Taylor Music Center. On behalf of the arts and cultural sector of St. Louis, we warmly welcome Dr. Feser. Dr. Feser, with your leadership, we look forward to deepening our long-standing partnership with SLU, engaging the entire region in the remarkable cultural life of our city, supporting this enduring and forward-looking university anchored in Grand Center Arts District for over 200 years, and helping shape a bright, culturally rich St. Louis for current and future generations of students.
Good morning. I am Kim Henriksen, and I am the president of St. Louis University Hospital and a proud partner of SLU. We welcome President Feser with hope and excitement for what lies ahead. My vision is that together we strengthen SLU's mission and we prepare the next generation of healthcare providers and leaders. We build community through collaboration. We'll share our expertise and our purpose so that education and care can unite to truly transform lives. This is how we move forward, with courage, compassion, faith, hope, and unity. Welcome.
Buenos días. My name is Diego Vente, and I'm the president and CEO of Casa de Salud, a proud community partner. A very, very warm welcome to you, President Feser. I am ignited by the power of our partnership to transform mission into action by providing access to dignified healthcare that nurtures a sense of belonging and helps our region become more resilient. Welcome, Dr. Feser.
I am Father Carl Schebel, and I'm the Vicar General for the Archdiocese of St. Louis. And I'm here on behalf of Archbishop Rosansky, who would have liked to have been here, but he's out of town today. I am here to assure Dr. Feser that the Archdiocese warmly welcomes him and certainly looks forward to continued collaboration. In just a few months, the Archdiocese of St. Louis will celebrate their bicentennial, and St. Louis University has been a partner every moment of those 200 years. And Dr. Feser, under your leadership, we look forward to continued partnerships and growing for centuries to come. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jenny Smolson, and I serve as the Interim Executive Director of the Association of Jesuit Colleges and Universities. On behalf of AJCU's 28 member institutions and our affiliate members, we welcome Dr. Feser to a community of closely connected institutions with a shared tradition of forming students who will engage the world with hope. We build community with St. Louis University through partnership and collaboration towards the shared goal of advancing the greater good. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smolson, and thanks to all who shared greetings. This inauguration is off to an amazing start, so let's keep the party going. It's time to hear from our keynote speaker. Dr. Holdenthorpe is editor-in-chief of the Science family of journals and a professor at George Washington University. Dr. Thorpe has served as the provost of Washington University in St. Louis, which is, just right down the road, and as chancellor at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, not as close down the road. He is also a St. Louis University trustee. It is our true pleasure to welcome Dr. Thorpe to the podium. Dr. Thorpe.
Thank you all, and hello. Congratulations to the people of John O'Leary University. And even though it may still be called St. Louis University in some circles, my soul is on fire, and I hope yours is too. What a happy day this is for us all. And congratulations to President Feser and Kathy and your family. In our line of work, we have a saying: any day you put your robe on is a good day. Today is one of those days. Now, Ed and Kathy, since you got here, you have probably felt the need to correct people on several things. Now, that is not a good way to win friends. And Lord knows you need a lot of friends. So I'm going to save you some trouble and maybe some heartache. Here are the answers to some of the questions that you have of St. Louisans. Yes, we know it is not really an Amico station. Yes, we know that a cracker with Cheese Whiz on it is not actually pizza. Now, some people here actually like it, so go try it, see what you think. Yes, we know we are not pronouncing Creve Coeur and de Bolivier correctly. And yes, we know you can now get a reservation at Pastaria. It wasn't always that way, so don't take that for granted. Now, I understand you've had many common adventures for new presidents, like Bob, who works here at Chaifetz, asking you if you had any proof that you were the president before he let you in. Or the student who parked in your parking place. When you asked him to move, he told you to be careful because the president sometimes parks there. Don't worry, they'll figure that out. And you've probably figured out that you work with a lot of priests. Now remember, they have a very different job from you. And that may be difficult because there are 4 ways in which your jobs are very similar. Number 1, you visit the sick. Number 2, you ask your congregation for money. Number 3, you occasionally put on a robe and stand in a pulpit and try to say something inspirational. And number 4, everyone thinks they know how to do your job. Now, I'm going to come back to number 4 in a minute. But first, here are some things about Ed. Ed Feser grew up in the West, in national parks where his father was a ranger. He was born in Canada because it was the closest hospital to their Montana cabin in Glacier National Park. They got their groceries by snowmobile. After a stop in Olympic National Park, the Fesers moved to Lassen Volcanic National Park, where Ed attended a 2-room schoolhouse in Mineral, California. There he developed his appreciation for access to education. Ed was drawn to Jesuit values at the University of San Francisco, where he learned the benefits of Catholic higher education in the college classrooms and in the nave of St. Ignatius Church. He learned what it means to have a university and a city truly connected. He met Kathy on a semester abroad, and when they came back, his friends wondered how a city boy from California was dating a country girl from Georgia. They had it backwards. Kathy is from Atlanta, Georgia, and Ed is from Red Bluff, California. In 1980, the population of Red Bluff was 10,000 people. Ed and Kathy went to UNC Chapel Hill, where he got his Ph.D. and joined the faculty in city and regional planning. One of his colleagues was some smart aleck who was raising hell in the chemistry department. That person was me. Oh. From Chapel Hill, Ed and Kathy moved to the University of Illinois, where he rose up the ranks to interim provost before moving back to his roots in the West to be the provost of Oregon State University. Jane Lubchenco is an Oregon State faculty member who has served the United States on environmental issues in 2 presidential administrations, including as the director of NOAA. I asked her if she had anything about Ed I could share in this talk. She did. Ed was the most amazing provost I've ever known, she said. He's the consummate, inspiring leader. He's able to make tough decisions with everyone on board, or at least respecting the decision. He makes change possible when it's needed, and he does so at the speed of trust. He earns trust. He listens, and is always thinking about what's best for the people of the institution. These traits would be valuable in any age, but they are particularly relevant today as universities and society navigate troubled waters. He's deeply committed to higher education and the overarching importance of creating the best learning, growing, thinking, and discovering an environment for students, faculty, and staff. Can you tell I miss him? We can, Jane, but sorry, Ed's in St. Louis now. And that brings us to today. Since arriving in St. Louis and waiting for everyone to realize that he can park wherever the hell he wants, Ed has lived up to Jane's billing as a leader who listens while not being afraid to push forward. And she's right that we need that right now. Student Government President Grace LaPiccolo told me that she can tell Ed knows that SLU wouldn't exist if the students didn't want to come here, that he asks the right questions about the well-being of the students and how to make sure they find a way to belong. And that's a rare thing right now. And this gets back to my point about everyone thinking they know how to do Ed's job. Because despite what you might read in the press or overhear at a board meeting, universities are not hedge funds. They are not real estate companies. I got a bunch of these, so you can keep clapping. I'm going. They're not sports corporations. They're schools. And sorry, everyone, but they're not here for the donors. They're not here for the board. They're not here for the county executive. Sorry, Steve. They're not here to chase the latest buzzwords around AI or quantum. They're here for the students. The rest of us are here to support that. All of the acrimony and division that are ripping higher education apart right now boil down to this simple point. And we can help. We can help by ensuring that our actions reflect the true reason that St. Louis University exists, and by realizing that we have entrusted exactly one person with all of the information needed to decide what those actions are, particularly when those decisions are ones nobody else wants to make. I promise you from experience that Ed already knows things about this place that none of us wants to know. So since we don't have that information, it's better to mostly give him support and occasionally give him advice rather than the other way around. And fortunately, we can do that with someone who won't forget what he learned in the desert of Red Bluff or the pews of St. Ignatius. Which means SLU doesn't have to hire consultants to run an off-site with butcher paper to find our North Star, core values, or mission statement. It's right there in the apostolic preferences and the Sermon on the Mount. And in Jesus, as a 12-year-old boy sitting with the rabbis for 3 days, listening and asking questions. Everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. These twin ideals of compassion and knowledge propel us forward to a more equitable and loving future. President Feser is prepared to lead us there with his own Jesuit education and his stellar record of academic accomplishment. And because he knows that in the long run, it's not the university presidents, politicians, and business executives that will lead us out of this caustic world we are currently living in. It's certainly not the pundits and the podcasters, which, by the way, is me. It's the people who actually talk to folks and understand them, who get their hands dirty and meet people where they are. It's the family practitioners, the clergy, the social workers, the nurses, the school teachers, and the civil rights lawyers. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me. It's not the influencers or the power brokers, but those who tend to the least of these who will lead us. And Ed Feser is going to make sure that we teach those people here. We'll teach them in the liberal arts tradition and the academic principles of knowledge and free inquiry. We'll teach them in the ideals of a Galilean rabbi who was not afraid or ashamed to touch and be seen with the marginalized, those marginalized by disease, poverty, and injustice. We'll teach them in the Jesuit traditions of compassion and higher purpose. And we'll teach them in this amazing and crazy city of mispronounced French words where barbecue is inexplicably made from a cow. We will do these things because Ed Feser has spent his life learning and defending these traditions and ideas. Because he didn't come here by accident. And because Ed Feser is not the president of just any university, he's the president of St. Louis University. So people of St. Louis and St. Louis University, welcome your new president, Ed Feser. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Dr. Thorpe. We have now come to the part of our program that we have all been waiting for, the inauguration of Dr. Edward Feser as our 34th president of our great university. To begin the formal investiture, I would like to introduce Mr. Eric Engler, chairman of the St. Louis University Board of Trustees.
Good morning, everyone. As chairman of the St. Louis University Board of Trustees, I have the distinct honor of presiding over this exciting moment in the inauguration ceremony and in our university's history. In my years on the board, I've seen firsthand how members of the SLU community come together, united by our mission to advance the university, always serving a higher purpose while seeking the greater good. While Dr. Feser is new to St. Louis University,
His impressive record of accomplishment suggests he is uniquely positioned to lead us to enhanced stature and even greater impact. As a faculty member and administrator, he has put into action his steadfast belief in the power of education to transform lives and contribute to flourishing communities. In other words, he fits right in at this mission-focused, student-centered, research-driven university. So on behalf of my colleagues on the Board of Trustees, I want to say just how hopeful we are for the future. Welcome, President Feser. We know you will continue the inspiring legacy of St. Louis University and bring this outstanding institution to even greater heights. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Feser, Ms. Bo Meehan, Vice Chair of the St. Louis University Board of Trustees, and Dr. Fred Postello, 33rd President of St. Louis University, to come forward. Dr. Feser, on behalf of St. Louis University, we present to you two visible symbols of the presidency. First, the chain of office, which symbolizes the president's place as the head of the university and features medallions that represent each St. Louis University school or college established before 1957. The year the chain of office was first presented to then-President Paul C. Reinert of the Society of Jesus by St. Louis University's President's Council. Thank you, Bo. Second, the mace, which symbolizes the president's authority over the university, as well as the university's independence from external influence. It is my privilege to invite Dr. Fred Postello, as immediate past president, to pass the mace to Dr. Feser. Dr. Edward Feser, by the authority vested in me as chairman of the St. Louis University Board of Trustees, I now hereby install you as the 34th president of St. Louis University. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce St. Louis University's 34th president, Dr. Edward Feser.
All right, so here I stand at the pulpit trying to say something inspirational. Good morning and buenas tardes, colleagues in Madrid. Before I begin, I'm so delighted that Nathan and Richie are today's MCs, and that the pep band and drum line, bare naked ladies, student speakers, and leaders, bare naked statues, that would be interesting. Student speakers and leaders Students from across campus and Billiken student athletes are participating. Go Bills! As we begin this next chapter, our top priority must always be the whole education and success of every student. Sincere care for our students, demonstrating through our daily work that every person is a divine gift, created in the image and likeness of God, is the heart of St. Louis University. And it is the firmest possible foundation for our future as a leading research university. By lending their time and talent, the students participating today have made this their inauguration too, choosing not to be passive recipients in what comes next, but to walk with me and all of us as we build on SLU's distinguished history. If you ever wonder if the future is bright for our university, city, state, or nation, or world, I invite you to spend an hour with SLU students. I'm sincerely grateful to the students for joining us today, and I'm grateful to many of the people who made this week's festivities possible. We're blessed to be a community that cares deeply about SLU and one another. Our recognition that everyone, whatever their role, is important to our success drew me here, and it will serve us well as we tackle both challenges and opportunities ahead. Please join me in thanking our students and all who prepared for this week's celebrations. Welcome to our trustees, Jesuit and archdiocesan leaders, elected officials, civic and community partners, faculty, staff, and students, visiting presidents and colleagues, AJCU colleagues, and alumni and friends. Your presence is a gift to St. Louis University and to me. I offer a special welcome to my dear friends from Oregon State University and the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. You remind me of how profoundly lucky I am to have been associated with such fine universities and worked with so many wonderful colleagues. Thank you to members of the Presidential Search Committee, Search Chair Joe Conran, Board Chair Eric Engler, the SLU trustees, Father Provincial Tom Green of the Society of Jesus, and Archbishop Mitchell Rosansky of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for the trust you've placed in me. I'm honored and humbled to lead this university and carry on its pastoral care. Thank you to those of you at SLU and in St. Louis who've been so kind in assisting Kathy and I as we transition to the university and city, including Fred and Fran Pistello, so many community leaders and friends, the team in the president's office, and the facilities crew who helped us move into Shaughnessy House. You could not have been more welcoming. I'd like to recognize my family who are here, including my parents-in-law, Tom and Gail, Kathy's sister Annette and her husband, Steve, my brother-in-law, Rick. Tom is a fellow city planning scholar and university administrator, and I've benefited greatly from his advice over the years. Having grown up in far-flung places with few relatives and friends nearby, you heard about that earlier, I was formed chiefly by my three sisters and brother, Lori, Vicky, JJ, and Chuck. With some teasing and a lot of laughter, the occasional scuffle, and much care, they shape me in more ways than they know. I'm thrilled they're here and that I have the microphone and they don't. My parents couldn't travel, but without their love and guidance, my mother's commitment to raising her children in the Catholic faith, and their sacrifice to send me to Catholic schools and college, I would not be standing here today. My two children, Jack and Mary, are here. I'm deeply proud of them, and especially of how gracefully they each blend personal accomplishment and compassion for others. Finally, a songwriter once wrote, "Love the girl who holds the world in a paper cup. If you find that she helps your mind, Buddy, take her home. I was lucky enough to find that girl and smart enough to make a home with her. Thank you, Kathy, for your 37 years of love, wisdom, counsel, and ever readiness to embark on an exciting journey together, whether it's up the side of a mountain or onto a new Roland city. Today is the feast of all the saints and blessed of the Society of Jesus, which is auspicious for a Jesuit university that has accumulated 207 years of rich history. On this feast day, we honor God's work in those who have exemplified the charism that animates St. Louis University's mission to pursue truth for the greater glory of God and for the service of humanity. Steadfast adherence to that charism has yielded a modern university of great reach and impact. With the leadership of many, not least President Emeritus Father Lawrence Biondi, we enjoy beautiful campuses in St. Louis and Madrid. We're now teaching over 13,000 students in well over 200 academic programs. The expertise of our 2,500 faculty spans an unusual breadth of scholarly and professional disciplines for our size, including the arts, humanities, sciences, engineering, social sciences, law, business, education, and social work. Through our academic clinical partnership with SSM Health, anchored by the SSM St. Louis University Hospital and Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, our faculty provide best practice care, train the next generation of physicians, nurses, and other health professionals, and conduct leading-edge research in medicine and health sciences. Our Madrid campus is thriving as a platform for study, research, and service in one of Europe's spectacular cities, providing an international complement to our work in St. Louis and opening the door to study abroad for students at SLU and universities around the world. SLU's international footprint expanded substantially in recent years, positioning us to thrive in an increasingly globalized world. Under President Emeritus Fred Pistello's leadership, SLU's research excellence accelerated dramatically, resulting in our achievement this year of a long-standing goal, designation as an R1 university. Multiple programs in arts and sciences, law, business, medicine, and other fields are highly ranked. Our students routinely answer the call to be men and women for and with others, completing 1.6 million hours of service each year. We are blessed to be home to a robust Jesuit community and one of our only 2 first studies programs for Jesuit formation in the country. I could say much more. We are justly proud of what St. Louis University has become. And like any human institution, what we've become has been shaped by both the achievements and the sins of our past. The same Society of Jesus that calls on men to abandon their worldly possessions and see God in everyone participated in the grave sin of slavery. The 12 Jesuits who journeyed here to establish the Missouri mission brought with them 6 enslaved people of African descent. The involuntary work of the enslaved, their cruel treatment, benefited St. Louis University. This is our legacy, a noble mission on the one hand, and actions that were in shocking conflict with that mission on the other. We're resolved to take steps toward repairing the harm that slavery and its legacy have caused. This is not only just, but consistent with a way of proceeding that is both fundamental to our Jesuit values and instructive in an America in which skepticism of core institutions is rising steeply. In examining our conscience as an institution and inviting conversion toward truth, justice, and reconciliation, we name and repair what is harmful, we strengthen what is good, and we choose a better path. This is a story repeated throughout our history. When in 1944, Father Claude Heithouse delivered a sermon denouncing segregation and calling on SLU to admit black students, he was reprimanded by university leadership. Yet SLU would become the first university in a formerly slaveholding state to establish a policy of integration. And just 12 years later, President Father Paul Reinert would withdraw the university from a national tournament when Cal Burnett, a black student on SLU's basketball team, was barred by Louisiana from competing in that state. Other Catholic universities would follow SLU's lead. In another example, SLU's history of developing the land on and around our campus is complex. Part of our university sits on the once thriving African American community of Mill Creek Valley, which was demolished during urban renewal in the 1950s. We recognize we benefited from this, and we also know this story should not be repeated. In our recent Midtown work, we're striving to foster genuine partnership with neighbors like the Gate District. We're committed to strengthening those ties. My point is that standing here on the feast of all the saints of the blessed and blessed, on the cusp of the next chapter in the university's history, we inherit the whole story. Sinners, grave mistakes, and failures, but also saints, courageous corrective action, and triumphs. Our belief in progress, grounded in humility but bolstered by courage and optimism, is essential. We are a university which strives to own its mistakes, to right its wrongs, to bridge divided people, to close the gap between falsehoods and truth, to pursue rigor and excellence in all things, and to do right and to do good for our students, our city, and our country. This belief in our capacity for redemption, excellence, and justice, coupled with our hope for the future, is critically important at this juncture in our nation's history and given the challenges and opportunities facing universities like ours. In higher education today, we are rightly focused on enrollment cliffs, changing learner preferences, escalating costs, lapses in scientific integrity, an upended college sports model, and rising public doubt about whether universities are truly forums for the open and free exchange of ideas. We're also engaged in a national conversation about the merits and appropriate structure of the historic partnership between the federal government and research universities. But I'd like to address something even more fundamental before I conclude with thoughts about the road ahead. This is a time of extraordinary political, technological, and social change. Our nation's politics are deeply polarized, and our predominant modes of communication, most prominently social media, work directly against reasoned discourse pursued with the intellectual humility and compassion that are needed to engage complex issues. In the words of Jesuit Father John Courtney Murray, the civic consensus by which we acquire our identity and sense of purpose as a nation has badly eroded. And it is eroding even as a uniquely powerful technology, artificial intelligence, is transforming nearly everything we do at an astonishing pace. AI is placing enormous pressure on our civic and corporate institutions to shape and adopt a response that preserves human control, dignified work, and a robust democratic polity. I believe young people today face greater political and economic complexity and moral peril in navigating this technology-enriched, AI-infused world than prior generations. At the same time, they inherit a world of enormous possibility and opportunity. We remain a powerful and prosperous nation, founded on universal principles and values that do not always yield perfect outcomes, but create the basis for action that can rectify wrongs, correct injustice, and produce demonstrable progress. Technologies under development, if wisely deployed, hold promise of supercharging the discovery of solutions that would address serious challenges in human health, environment, food security, energy, and many other domains. From one perspective, we face a world of peril. From another perspective, we see a world of hope. How do we prepare our graduates for this world? What do we teach and study as we do so? What is St. Louis University's unique contribution? As we proceed in our work to answer these questions together, I ask us to keep three broad considerations firmly in mind. Our graduates are our greatest contribution. Who do we wish them to be? Who are our graduates? What will set them apart? What will ensure their success in their careers and their lives? Who is a SLU graduate is the single most important question we can ask. And our answer must be both distinctive and authentic. Let's ensure that SLU graduates are well trained in their discipline, technically skilled, and career ready, and that they are AI savvy, whatever their field. But let's also ensure they are truly able to wrestle with life's big questions, how best to live, and what to care about. Let's ensure SLU is not just a place for the transmission of knowledge, but is rather a forum for the exploration of life's mystery and meaning via serious engagement with great literary works, philosophy, history, religion, art, and faith. And we're helping every student build skill in leadership and entrepreneurship grounded in that unique exploration that we as a Jesuit university can provide. We must deliver on this mission for every student. And we must be better prepared to welcome students from all walks of life, transfer students, returning adult learners, part-time students, students with families, and students seeking non-traditional credentials. We must deliver on this mission as attention spans are challenged by the consumption of digital media and as students are drawn to practical and professional fields. These challenges make our imperative all the more important. We must maximize opportunities for students to integrate practical experience in their study, as experience is our ultimate human advantage and provides an essential basis for judgment. Concurrently, we should reinvent the ways we educate our students for careers and vocations where they will contribute to the creation of a humane and hope-filled institutions and communities. We can begin by deepening our partnerships with organizations and employers in St. Louis who care about the future of this university and this city as much as we do. A SLU graduate should be ready to act, to exercise civic and social leadership, to use technology wisely, to learn from diverse viewpoints, and to build enterprises and communities always with an ethic of service to others and the common good. Second, what should we study and teach? We need to become our own unique kind of research university. Indeed, I believe we can lead others in defining what cutting-edge research grounded in Jesuit principles and values looks like as we embark on our new era as an R1 institution, provided we integrate our teaching and research missions, focus on building depths in fields where the university can be most distinctive, and prioritize interdisciplinarity. These are keys to deliver the kind of rich education I just described and harnessing strength in the humanities and social sciences alongside the sciences, engineering, medicine, and health sciences. Third, how should we deliver our mission? Like so many other industries, higher education is being reshaped in profound ways. Advances in computational power and machine learning are making it possible to tap vast stores of data in highly creative ways. An acceleration of innovation in our sector has the potential to expand access and increase student success. By taking advantage of these developments, we can reduce costs and put higher education in reach of the very students that we as a Jesuit Catholic university seek to serve. The lesson? The same technological and organizational revolution that we must prepare our students to understand and shape is changing the nature of work in universities like ours. We need to practice what we preach and harness these innovations and technologies creatively and wisely in how we do our work. Let me conclude by returning to where I started, our students. Our students come to us focused ever more intently on preparing themselves for career and work. Yet they also come to us, whatever their faith, background, or no faith at all, yearning for morality, meaning, and significance. Both things are very good news. We are graced with the opportunity, if we build our own beautiful combination of teaching, research, and service distinctively and with fidelity to our Jesuit mission, to graduate ethical and inspiring doers. Those SLU doers, drawing guidance from 500 years of saints and blessed we honor today, will help our city, state, and nation navigate wisely through a world both fraught with peril and rich with opportunity. If we succeed, the future will be bright for SLU because we will have made it so. Thank you for your trust in me. Thank you for your commitment to this place we share and its future. May God bless you, and may God bless St. Louis University. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Feser, for your inspiring address. As we approach the conclusion of our ceremony, I invite Reverend Angela Tate, who is the Associate Pastor of Westside Missionary Baptist Church here in St. Louis, to offer our benediction. Please stand if able.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we thank you for your faithfulness through every season. We thank you for this great privilege to pray. As we welcome new leadership, may your spirit guide President Feser with wisdom to lead, courage to decide, and humility to serve. We are grateful that you sent him to us for such a time as this. And we ask that you bless Dr. Feser with vision, integrity, and compassion. Let your grace and your mercy rest upon him in all that he does. Bless the St. Louis University community, faculty, students, and staff, that along with Dr. Feser, we may seek truth, pursue excellence, and live out your love. May this university continue to be a place where knowledge and faith meet, where minds are enlightened and hearts are inspired to serve. Go before us in every endeavor, stand beside us in every challenge, and dwell within us as we work for your glory and the good of all people. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray, amen.
Thank you, Reverend Tate. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and Dr. Feser, we thank you for joining us for today's celebration.
We offer special thanks to the inauguration committees and to the countless others who plan the details of our inaugural events. We also want to acknowledge the wonderful musicians and performers who helped make the ceremony so memorable. SLU's own Billiken Pep Band, Billiken Drumline, and the Bare Naked Statues.
Immediately following the recessional, we ask that you join us for lunch in the Wool Ballrooms in Bush Student Center, located at the corner of Grand and Laclede. Please reference the map on the screens. If you still get lost, just stand there and look confused until somebody helps you. Also, please remain at your seats until the recessional has ended. Thank you, and congratulations, Dr. Feser. God bless and roll Bills!